Rose Young with Imagine More Events. We're inside the house with Miss Christine Abbott from Sandhills Adaptive Living. Christine, where shall we start?
Why don't we start in the bathroom? You know, most falls for older people occur in and around their homes. And of all the falls that occur in a home, 33% occur in the bathroom, making it one of the more dangerous places in the house. So I think that would be a good place to start.
Okay.
So around here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Right through here.
Oh, a good sized bathroom. That's nice. I do notice though that the tiles have varying patterns. And if someone has eyesight limitations or some visual problems, then that could be a little confusing. I don't think you need to do anything about it, but I would watch your mom the first few days and just make sure she's confident walking on this floor. Because as I said, the different colors and patterns of the tiles can be a little disorienting for someone with visual problems. It's well lit. You've got lights all over, so not a problem with lighting in here. Got a nice sized shower stall. And I see that the surface inside the shower is not slippery because it consists of small stones with a sunken grout line. And so slipping shouldn't be a problem in here. However, you do have a threshold that matches the tiles out there. So again, that makes it blend in, and she might not see that threshold very clearly. So I'll think about some things you might be able to do to make that stand out. I don't know that painting it will work, but I'll research that for you and look for some ideas that will help that. You have a handheld shower, that's good, but I would recommend one. There's a rod you can get that is vertical, and the handheld shower can be positioned on it so that you either use it as a regular shower or you take it off and can wash. The advantage of a handheld shower is that when you're showering, you don't have to turn around under a spray. You can just stay in the same place and wash front and back. And if you're not turning, you're less likely to get unsteady and maybe fall. A seat would be great in here. Some type of chair or bench that can be placed in a position that works for your mom. Again, it's all individual, so you have to kind of observe and check out what would work the best. All the seats should be adjustable in height. That way you can set it at a good height for your mom. You've got a nice little niche to store things, so supplies can be within reach, and that's good. Something I do notice is that if I was in here and wasn't familiar with it, this glass is extremely clear, and I might be tempted to try and walk out right through it. So something on the outside, if you didn't want to replace it with a frosted glass, you can get that vinyl sheeting that clings to glass, and if you put that on this side and this side, I think that would help her stay oriented and aware of where she was in the shower. I wouldn't be tempted to step out to the side. Leave the door clear because that makes a good contrast to where she can get out. You definitely need some grab bars. Something to hold on to around here, something vertical here so you've got something to hold on to step out. Be nice if something could be put here. There is a pole, what they call a pole system, and that goes from the ceiling to the floor and is set up so it doesn't damage either one. Yet it can be fixed very sturdily, and you could just put a pole up here that would give something to hold on to. Or you could talk to a contractor and maybe they could have a chrome fitting that went from ceiling to the base that would look like part of the shower frame. Again, there are different options, and you and I can talk about those. I can give you some pictures and ideas, and then you decide what you would like to do. Having something to sit on once she gets out so she can finish drying and get dressed. So a stool or a chair, really. You need something with a back for security. In this area would be good. You could also move that same chair over to the vanity, so if she got tired from grooming activities, brushing teeth, doing hair, if she wears makeup, standing for that length of time can be quite tiring, and the more tired a person gets, the more risk they are for a fall. So somewhere to sit down while she's doing those tasks. If it came to it, you could even redesign the vanity to have an opening underneath here that she could sit up close to the sink. It doesn't sound like she needs that just yet, but it's something to keep in mind for the future. This type of faucet is hard to manage, both physically and to see where the hot and the cold are. And again, the controls in the shower might be a little complicated for her initially. Might have to either label them or show her several times how they might be used. Looking at them, for me, I know some of these fittings confuse me too, so to be confused by some of these fittings is not unusual. And once she's used to it, it'll be fine, but getting used to it will be difficult. You have a nice little toilet compartment here, and I see you already have some rails around the toilet. They're very sturdy. They're close enough in on both sides that she can push to stand. You never want to place bars so that somebody pulls to stand, because if you pull and your hands slip, you fall backwards. Plus, you don't use your legs like you should for sit to stand. And that's one of the things that becomes difficult for older people, is pushing to stand with their legs. It's very important that they're positioned so they use their legs as much as possible. So I don't think you need anything else there. You tell me she's not very tall, so I don't think you'll need to go to any kind of a raised seat. And when you look at this towel bar, you see how pretty it is around here? You can get grab bars that have a very similar fitting, so they don't look particularly like grab bars. People are always concerned about the home. I don't want it to look like a hospital or a nursing home. And if you get very basic equipment, they are fairly plain and institutional looking. But if you look a little beyond that, you can find some very attractive fittings. And again, I brought pictures I can show you so that you can see what it will look like. And you have a sink in here. Again, the faucet is the difficult kind to manage, both physically to manipulate and to see the hot and cold. Lever faucets are much easier to operate and more intuitive as far as knowing, if you know which one's hot and which one's cold, it's easier to adjust them. But on the whole, you have a very nice setup here, and it's certainly got lots of room, which will make it, I imagine, your mom will be happy here.
That was Christine Abbott from Sandhills Adaptive Living. She's really given me something to think about. I hope you guys found something interesting too. This is Rose Young from Imagine More Events. Thanks for listening. Bye.